Hello everyone, my name is Alexey, and one of the hardest things for the people who the first time saw the reduce method of the array is how it works, why I need to use it, and in what situation will I use this scary function. And I am here to remove your fear about the reduce function, and I am going deeply step by step explain how this array method works and show you different situations where this method will be extremely useful and suitable. After this video, you will know all about reduce and don't afraid to read it and use it in your code. Okay, please like this video and let's start. Okay, let's start from the first example. And for example, we are developing online car service. And for example, user wants to buy engine, transmission and rims in our car service. So it's his card, for example, and we need to count somehow total price. So this code, it does. So we are defining total price equals to 0. Then we are looping with for each one by one engine, transmission and rims. And then we are getting total price. And it's pretty fine. But reduce will be significantly more suitable here. And let's rewrite our code with using reduce function. So let's comment it for now. And reduce function will always return a single value. So we can iterate through the array, but then reduce function will return to us single value. So we can define total price, const again total price, and we will iterate through our car parts. So car parts dot reduce, and here we will have a callback. So we need to pass here callback function. And as a first element, we will have accumulator. So accumulator. And as a second element, we will have an element. So like in for each, we will have an element. But what is accumulator? So accumulator will be our first value, which we need to define after callback function. So we need to provide here, for example, 0. So we will start from 0. As we can see, accumulator, so my IDE helps me, and accumulator will be 0. And on each iteration, we will have new accumulator. And new value of accumulator will be what we will return in this callback. So we will return accumulator plus element dot price. Cool. So we will add accumulator and element price. And here we will have total price. Let's log it in our console. And as we can see, it's 29,500. So it's right value. And let's dive into this code more deeply. And let's look at all step by step. Okay, let's review our logic in this reduce step by step, and let's go through iterations one by one. And our first step, our accumulator will be 0. So we can have here 0, we can have here 100, and it will be 2960. So we can provide any value here, and for our situation, it will be 0. So accumulator will be 0, and element will be engine. So it's our elem engine. And what will be sum? Sum will be accumulator plus element price. So it will be sum, it's 0 plus 14,500. Cool. Yes. And let's go to the next step. So it will be our second step. We will have as accumulator 0 plus 14,500. So 14,500, it will be our accumulator. So our accumulator is 14,500. Element, we will have second element. It will be transmission with price 10,000. So elem, it will be our transmission. And then we will have sum, new sum, which will be returned in step 3. So we need to add 14,500 and 10,000. Yes, it will be our sum. Cool. And let's go to the last iteration. So 3. our accumulator will be 14,500 plus 10,000. It will be accumulator 24,500. Yes? Yes. And as element, we will have our rims with price 5,000. Yeah? So it will be our element. And then it will be 29,500. So we need to add 24,500 and 5,000. And our result 29,500. Yes? Yes. And this result we will see in our console, and this result will be returned in our total price variable. Okay, and let's talk about more advanced usage of reduce method. And when we are talking about grouping array of object by some fields or etc., we 100% need to use reduce. And let's, for example, group our cars by country. So we have here brand Porsche, country Germany, BMW from Germany, Subaru from Japan, Rolls-Royce from United Kingdom, and Toyota from Japan. And we need to group these cars by country. So let's do it. As we remember, as a reduce result, we have one value. So const, for example, grouped by group by country equals to car brands reduce. And in reduce we need to pass function, and first argument will be accumulator and then element, and it will be arrow function. And default value for accumulator will be not number or string, will be new map. So we can pass here new map, and we will here as accumulator new map. So if our accumulator has element country, we will just add this element to a specific country. So accumulator get element country, and we need to push our car here. So push element. And in another example, we need to set to our accumulator by key country array with this element. And also we need to return our accumulator, because we need to return accumulator for the next calling of this callback for the next element in our array. So return accumulator. Cool. And let's log our grouped by country value. So let's refresh our page, and as you can see, that's it. So we have map with three keys, so Germany, Japan, and United Kingdom. And we have from Germany two cars, it's Porsche and BMW. From Japan, Subaru and Toyota. And from United Kingdom, we have Rolls-Royce. Nice. And it's how we can group our elements by one or two properties and return object or map with grouped values. Okay, let's talk about more advanced features of reduce. And for example, we have array of numbers, nums, and let's count its sum. So const sum equals to nums reduce, and here we can pass arrow function with accumulator and our element, and as a default value for our accumulator we will have a 0. So return accumulator plus element, and let's log our result. So log sum. Cool, 18. And all is okay. But actually a reduce function takes 4 arguments. So these 2 arguments, so accumulator and element, you will use 99% types, but you can take also index of current element. So if we will log index and log index parameter will have index 0, 1, 2. So 0, 1, 2. And also you can actually take from the arguments array. So this array refers to array nums. So if we will pass here array, so it will be the same array on which we are trying to call reduce. So 567, 567, and 567 3 times. And the last thing I want to show you, it will be interesting situation. So maybe you could think, what if I will not provide second parameter, its default value for our accumulator? What will happen? And as we can see, we will have the same 18, but let's log our accumulator and let's log our element. So log accumulator, so it will be accumulator and element. So current element, and it will be elem. And as we can see, accumulator 5, current element 6, accumulator 11, current element 7. So if we won't provide default value for accumulator, first value of the array will be as a default value of accumulator. It's literally not obvious. So if we will pass here 0, so accumulator will be 0, current element 5, accumulator 5, current element 6, accumulator 11, current element 7. And then we have 18 as a result, so it's obvious. But if we will not provide the value, our first element will be as accumulator. And the interesting thing, if we will have an empty array, we will have an error in our console, reduce of empty array with no initial value. But if we will provide our second argument, for example 0, and we have empty array, we won't have any errors and we will have 0. So sum of empty array will be 0. It's cool. So every time provide second default value for accumulator, and please on reviews or something like that, avoid situations when you are not providing a second argument to reduce. Okay, today we look at one of the most obscure and complex array methods, reduce. We look at how reduce works step by step, look at the function with which arguments reduce takes, and also look at few use cases. Also, if you have own examples or would like to supplement my video, write about it in the comments. So please like, subscribe, stay tuned, please check the description and follow my Telegram channel. Bye.